Welcome to Rare Coins Numix, where every coin tells a story beyond its face value. Some Roosevelt dimes have quietly become among the rarest and most valuable pieces in modern American numismatics. Though these dimes may seem familiar, their hidden qualities have captured the attention of collectors worldwide. Let's uncover what makes these coins truly stand out. In 1977, the United States Mint continued its long-standing production of the Roosevelt dime, a coin first introduced in 1946 to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. That year, millions of dimes rolled off the presses at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The focus of today's story is on the 1977 D. Roosevelt dime, struck at the Denver Mint, a coin that appears ordinary at first glance but has become one of the most intriguing finds in modern U.S. coinage. The design of the Roosevelt dime hadn't changed since its debut. The obverse features a left-facing profile of President Roosevelt, with the word "Liberty" boldly inscribed to his left. The motto, "In God We Trust," sits just beneath his chin, and the date, 1977, appears at the lower right. Just above the date, a small D mint mark identifies the Denver origin. On the reverse, the familiar torch, flanked by an olive branch on one side and an oak branch on the other, symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength. The inscriptions, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and "one dime," encircle the image. Although the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, most of them quickly entered circulation, where they were subjected to the wear and tear of daily use. Finding one in pristine condition today is a challenge. And that's where the story begins to get interesting. Among collectors, the true appeal of the 1977 D dime isn't in its age or its mintage numbers, it's in the quality of the strike, the preservation of detail, and a rare level of condition that only a handful have achieved. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, where mint state 60 and above indicates a coin that has never seen circulation. Most 1977 D dimes today, even in uncirculated rolls, fall somewhere between MS-63 and MS-65. These are nice examples, but not rare. It's only when we begin to look at coins graded MS-67 and above that rarity comes into play. At these high levels, the population of known examples begins to shrink quickly. The difficulty increases even further when considering coins with a fully defined reverse torch, those with sharp, uninterrupted horizontal lines on the bands, a condition referred to by collectors as full bands. Full bands dimes are highly desirable. They indicate a strong, precise strike from the dies, something that wasn't always consistent in the minting process. For the 1977 D dime, very few coins exist with both high-grade and full bands detail. That combination, perfection in both condition and design, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Some collectors have spent years searching through uncirculated rolls and old mint sets trying to locate one of these elusive dimes in top condition. A coin like this isn't just a find, it's a highlight in a collection, something that draws attention and demands a second look. The sharper the strike, the brighter the luster, and the fewer the contact marks, the higher the value climbs. It's not just about owning a Roosevelt dime anymore, it's about owning the finest known version of that dime. In the world of modern coin collecting, quality is king. Rarity today is no longer just about how many were made, but how many survived in perfect shape. With the 1977 D. Roosevelt dime, the perfect specimen is exceptionally rare. And when one surfaces, especially one graded MS-68 with full bands, it becomes a priority for advanced collectors building competitive registry sets. These collectors are not just interested in the coin, they're interested in the top spot on the leaderboard. They're willing to pay a premium for the very best. Not long ago, one such coin appeared on the auction block. It was a 1977 D. Roosevelt dime, graded MS-68 full bands by a major grading service. The coin displayed brilliant, untoned surfaces, razor-sharp detail, and absolutely no visible marks under magnification. It was a coin that had survived nearly 5 decades in untouched condition, against all odds. Multiple bidders, recognizing its significance and scarcity, drove the price higher with each round. After intense competition, the final price was set. The 1977 D. Roosevelt dime, in exceptional condition with full bands, sold for $85,000. A staggering result for a coin originally worth 10 cents. It was a sale that stunned even experienced collectors and reinforced a truth many in the hobby understand well: condition and rarity together create real value. This sale marked the highest known price ever paid for a 1977 D dime, setting a new benchmark in modern coin collecting. It also demonstrated how coins from our everyday lives, coins we may have handled without a second thought, can become prized possessions when preserved in exceptional form. That brings us to the close of this story. A humble dime, transformed by perfect condition and collector demand, into one of the most valuable coins of its kind. Stay tuned as we continue exploring the fascinating world of rare and high-value coins, one discovery at a time. Let's move to our second coin, the 1984 Roosevelt dime from the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, it might seem like just another small coin in your change jar. But under the surface, there's a surprising story that turns this ordinary-looking dime into one of the most sought-after modern coins ever released by the U.S. Mint. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt shortly after his passing. By 1984, the design had remained mostly unchanged. On the front, or obverse, we see Roosevelt's left-facing profile, his hair, facial features, and neckline all sharply outlined. The word "Liberty" runs along the left rim, while "In God We Trust" is positioned just beneath the chin. The year, 1984, appears on the lower right, and just above the date is a small P, marking that it was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse shows the familiar torch in the center, flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of peace and strength. Around the edge are the inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination, 1 dime. It's a clean, compact design that has held up through the decades, and it's instantly recognizable. What makes this dime special isn't a dramatic design change or an error, it's what collectors refer to as condition rarity. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 850 million dimes. Because of that high number, most people assume there's nothing special about any of them. And in most cases, they're right. These coins were produced for circulation, intended for everyday use, and most have the small scratches, wear, and dings that come from being in pockets, registers, and drawers for decades. The vast majority show signs of use and have lost their original luster, but as collectors know, not all coins are created equal, even among millions. When it comes to modern coins, condition is everything. A dime that looks perfect under magnification, with sharp details and no signs of wear, becomes a serious contender for high-grade status. Combine that with a strong strike that shows full separation in the torch's horizontal lines, a detail known as full bands, and you've got something truly rare. Full bands refer to the complete, uninterrupted lines across the torch on the reverse side of the coin. This feature confirms the coin was struck with full pressure, resulting in strong, sharp detail. On coins struck quickly for circulation, this detail is often incomplete. That's what makes full bands designations so important. They reflect the quality of the strike, and when paired with a high numerical grade, they create a rare and highly collectible coin. Finding a 1984 P. Roosevelt dime in such condition is extremely difficult. Most were handled carelessly, stored loosely, or spent without a second thought. Only a tiny percentage survived in uncirculated rolls or mint sets, and even fewer retained the kind of quality needed to reach top grading tiers. A coin with the full bands designation and a grade of mint state 67 or higher is a standout among modern issues, and few collectors ever come across one in the wild. The grading scale runs from 1 to 70. Coins above MS66 are already uncommon. MS67 is a real find. But MS68 with full bands, that's where things change. We're talking about nearly flawless coins with full luster, sharp design details, and no distracting marks even under magnification. These are the top 1% of the top 1%. It's not just rare, it's elite. Collectors looking to build top-ranking registry sets place a premium on these examples because they represent the very best available for the year and mint. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Not long ago, one such coin, an absolutely pristine 1984 P. Roosevelt dime, graded MS-68 with full bands, was offered at a major auction. This wasn't just another coin in a plastic holder. It had everything: stunning surfaces, perfect torch bands, and a known population of only a few in this grade. The combination of rarity, condition, and certified quality made it the highlight of the auction. Bidders immediately recognized its significance. This was a registry-level coin, the kind that could complete or upgrade a competitive set. The bidding was intense. Multiple experienced collectors and investors participated, understanding that this opportunity might not come again for years, or possibly decades. The price kept climbing as each bidder tried to secure the winning bid. When the auction finally closed, the final price stunned the crowd. The 1984 P. Roosevelt dime, in MS-68 full bands condition, sold for an incredible $74,000. That's right, $74,000 for a coin that started out as 10 cents. But that's the magic of numismatics. What separates common from valuable isn't always age or metal content, it's condition, strike quality, and rarity in the highest grades. This single coin became one of the most valuable Roosevelt dimes ever sold, not because of a mint error or a unique variety, but because it represents the absolute peak of preservation and strike. This sale is a powerful reminder of how even the most familiar coins can carry extraordinary value when preserved with care and discovered at the right time. It's also a call to collectors, both new and experienced, to pay attention to the details, because in the world of coins, those details can mean the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. Let's move to another fascinating coin in the world of modern U.S. coinage, the 1997 Roosevelt dime from the Philadelphia Mint. It's a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about if they saw it in their change. Lightweight, small, and used every day, the dime is often overlooked in favor of more dramatic denominations. But every so often, one specific coin stands out, not because of what it was made to be, but because of how perfectly it was made. That's exactly what happened with the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, introduced just months after President Franklin D. Roosevelt's death. His legacy, especially as the founder of the March of Dimes to fight polio, made him a natural choice to appear on the 10-cent coin. The design has remained mostly unchanged for decades. The obverse features Roosevelt's side profile, his expression calm and determined, with the word "Liberty" to the left, "In God We Trust" below his chin, the year of issue to the lower right, and the mint mark, in this case, a small P for Philadelphia, just above the date. On the reverse, the classic imagery of a torch, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right, symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength. The layout is clean, traditional, and unmistakably American. It's a design that hasn't needed revision because it continues to serve its purpose: simple, iconic, and full of meaning. In 1997, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes. These coins were created primarily for circulation, meant to be spent, saved, and exchanged countless times over. The vast majority were handled through vending machines, cash drawers, and pockets, where nicks, scratches, and dull surfaces became inevitable. So while the mintage was high, that doesn't mean every coin from that year is common, not when you begin looking for those rare pieces that stand out due to condition. For collectors, condition is everything. A coin might be common in circulation, but once you start searching for pristine, untouched examples, those that have never been used, scratched, or worn down, the numbers drop dramatically. That's especially true when you factor in strike quality. One detail collectors pay close attention to is the clarity of the torch on the reverse. If the horizontal bands on the torch are fully struck, with no breaks or softness, the coin qualifies for a designation known as full bands. This detail is hard to achieve and even harder to preserve, making it one of the key features in identifying a superior Roosevelt dime. The grading scale, used by all major coin grading services, goes from 1 to 70. Coins above MS-65, meaning mint state and free from wear, are already notable. A coin graded MS-66 or MS-67 is highly collectible, but very few coins make it to MS-68 or higher. When they do, and they have the full bands designation, they become elite. That's exactly what happened with one extraordinary 1997 P. Roosevelt dime. This coin was not just a well-preserved example, it was an exceptional survivor. It displayed full original mint luster, a sharply struck design with full bands, and virtually no visible contact marks even under close magnification. It had been carefully preserved, likely from the moment it left the mint, and stored in ideal conditions. After professional grading, it received a remarkable grade of MS68 full bands. This placed the coin among the finest known of its kind. Only a tiny handful of 1997 P dimes have achieved this level of preservation and strike quality. For collectors who focus on building registry sets, curated collections ranked by condition, coins like this are essential. They represent the highest standard available, and competition for them can be fierce. When this particular coin was offered at auction, collectors took notice immediately. It wasn't just another Roosevelt dime, it was a top-of-the-line example that almost never comes up for sale. The bidding started strong and continued to rise. Each bidder understood exactly what was at stake, not just ownership of a high-grade coin, but ownership of a registry-quality rarity that could take their collection to the next level. As the auction progressed, the competition intensified. Offers came in from multiple collectors, each one pushing the price higher. And then, finally, the hammer fell. The final sale price for the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime, graded MS68 full bands, reached a stunning total, $52,000. That's right, $52,000 for a coin that was originally worth 10 cents. But that's the power of condition rarity. When a coin is struck perfectly, preserved immaculately, and recognized as one of the very best of its kind, its value can climb to heights that most people never imagine. It's a perfect example of how even modern coins, the kind still found in circulation today, can become valuable treasures under the right circumstances. This particular sale also sends a message to collectors. Don't overlook the coins that seem ordinary. The Roosevelt dime is one of the most commonly used coins in the United States, but when you start examining them closely, when you look for flawless condition, sharp strikes, and complete design features, you start to understand where the real value lies. It's not just about age or rarity in mintage numbers. It's about quality. It's about survival in near-perfect form. So the next time you receive a dime in your change, take a moment and really look at it. You never know, one of those little coins could be the next great discovery. Hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see its true potential. And as we've seen with the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime, what starts as a simple coin can turn into a prize worth thousands, or even more, with the right combination of condition and timing. Next up is a coin that you've probably seen dozens of times without giving it a second thought, the 2001 Roosevelt dime, minted in Denver. It's small, common, and easy to overlook. But for collectors who understand how condition and quality can transform an ordinary coin into something remarkable, the 2001 Roosevelt dime has become an unexpected standout. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, serving as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His work leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, along with his role in founding the March of Dimes, made him a natural choice for the 10-cent coin. The design has remained nearly unchanged for decades. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, with "Liberty" along the left rim, "In God We Trust" beneath the chin, and the year 2001 toward the lower right. Just above the date, the small D mint mark confirms it was struck in Denver. The reverse of the coin showcases a torch in the center, a symbol of liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength. Around the rim are the inscriptions, "United States of America, E pluribus unum," and "1 dime." It's a compact design that communicates a lot in a small space and has stayed relevant for generations. In 2001, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these dimes. They were meant for circulation, so most of them show signs of wear. Scratches, dull surfaces, and contact marks are common, especially since these coins were never expected to be saved or collected when they were first issued. The vast majority have been used in everyday transactions for over 2 decades, but among those millions, a very small number of coins managed to avoid circulation. These were carefully preserved from the beginning, sometimes by chance, sometimes by collectors who pulled them from freshly opened mint rolls or mint sets. These uncirculated coins, especially those with sharp strikes and clean surfaces, are the ones that get attention from grading professionals. One of the key features collectors look for in Roosevelt dimes is something called the full bands designation. This refers to the horizontal lines across the torch on the reverse side of the coin. When these bands are fully visible, sharp, and unbroken, it means the coin was struck with more precision and force than usual. Not every coin earns this detail, and when it appears on a coin with very high overall condition, it increases the value significantly. For the 2001 D dime, very few examples exist in top-grade uncirculated condition with full bands. Most uncirculated pieces fall into the MS65 or MS66 range. A coin graded MS67 full bands is already tough to find. But one coin managed to go even higher, an MS68 with full bands. That's an extraordinary level of preservation and detail for any modern dime, and it puts the coin in a league of its own. Grading a coin at MS68 means that even under close magnification, there are almost no marks or flaws. The luster is full, the strike is strong, and every detail is clean and sharp. And when you add full bands to that grade, it tells collectors that this coin represents the very best quality available for the year. What makes this even more interesting is that there are so few known examples of the 2001 D Roosevelt dime in this condition. That's where its value starts to take shape. It's not rare because of how many were made, it's rare because of how few survived in such pristine form. This is what collectors call condition rarity. And in today's competitive collecting environment, especially among those who build registry sets, having the finest known coin can carry a big premium. So how valuable can a nearly flawless 2001 D Roosevelt dime be? One example, with a certified grade of MS68 and full bands designation, was recently valued at an incredible $39,000. That's a huge number for a 10-cent coin, and it shows just how much weight high condition can carry in the numismatic market. This coin didn't become valuable because it's old or made of silver, it became valuable because it's one of the best preserved examples of its kind. The precision of the strike, the clean surfaces, and the rarity of that high grade all work together to give it real appeal in the eyes of serious collectors. This story is also a reminder that modern coins, even coins still in circulation today, can carry significant value if they meet the right conditions. Most people never check their change, but the possibility is always there. It's about paying attention to detail, learning what makes a coin exceptional, and keeping an eye out for the ones that stand above the rest. And sometimes, the most valuable coins aren't the oldest ones or the ones made from precious metals, they're the ones hiding in plain sight, preserved through pure luck or keen observation. The key is knowing what to look for and recognizing quality when you see it. So next time you come across a 2001 dime with a little D above the date, take a moment to look a bit closer. You might not have a $39,000 coin in your hand, but then again, maybe you do. Next up is a coin that's part of everyday life for most Americans, but with the right conditions, it can stand out in a powerful way, the 2015 Roosevelt dime, minted in Philadelphia. To the average person, this coin is just 10 cents. It's light, simple, and easy to overlook. But as we've seen many times in numismatics, when a modern coin is preserved in nearly perfect condition and carries specific features, it can rise far above its face value. That's exactly what happened with one extraordinary example of the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime series began back in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His role in leading the country through some of its most difficult years and his strong connection to the March of Dimes campaign made him the natural choice to be honored on the 10-cent coin. Since then, his image has remained a consistent part of American coinage. The obverse of the dime features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt with the word "Liberty" along the left rim, "In God We Trust," positioned beneath his chin, and the year, 2015, on the lower right. Just above the date, the small P mint mark identifies the Philadelphia Mint as its origin. The reverse continues the classic imagery associated with the series, a torch in the center representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Around the rim, you'll find "United States of America," the motto, E pluribus unum, and the denomination, 1 dime. It's a design that has become so familiar that it often goes unnoticed, but within that consistency lies the opportunity for discovery. In 2015, the Philadelphia Mint produced well over 1 billion Roosevelt dimes. These coins were made for circulation, for everyday use. That kind of volume usually means they were struck quickly and handled with speed, leading to most examples showing signs of wear or less than ideal strikes. Many were tossed into change jars, spent in stores, or handled countless times, leaving behind marks and dulling their surfaces, but as collectors know, even within large mintages, a few coins always stand apart. These are the dimes that were never circulated, never damaged, and kept in pristine condition since the moment they left the mint. And even more rare are the ones that show perfect strike quality, especially on the torch bands on the reverse. When those horizontal lines are fully separated and crisp, a coin can earn the full bands designation, which instantly boosts its appeal to collectors. A coin that's graded highly and displays full bands becomes a top-tier example. Most uncirculated 2015 P dimes fall in the MS65 or MS66 range. Finding one graded MS67 is impressive. But every now and then, one coin makes it to MS68 or higher, and that's when serious collectors start paying close attention. Achieving such a grade means the coin is nearly flawless under magnification. The luster is full and bright, the fields are clean, and the strike is unusually strong. 1 2015 P Roosevelt dime reached this level and became something of a standout. It was graded MS68 with full bands, making it one of the finest known for its type and year. This combination of condition, rarity and strike quality made it a high-demand piece for collectors, especially those building competitive registry sets where only the best examples are accepted. Coins like this are not valuable because they are old or made from silver. Instead, their value comes from being among the best preserved and best struck. That makes them condition rarities, coins that are common in general, but incredibly rare in top grades. And for collectors focused on excellence, these are the kinds of coins that complete or elevate a collection. When this particular 2015 P Roosevelt dime was certified and made available, it attracted strong attention within numismatic circles. High-grade modern coins with the full bands designation are not easy to come by, and competition for them is always high. As interest grew, so did its value. In the end, the coin reached a final value of $28,000. That's an exceptional result for a coin minted in such recent history. It proves that even coins still found in circulation today can be worth thousands when they meet the right standards of quality and preservation. This coin didn't carry any unusual mint error or rare composition. Its value was entirely due to the quality of its strike and the rarity of its near-perfect condition. It also serves as a reminder to collectors and casual observers alike that value isn't always about age or precious metal. In today's market, especially with the rise of registry set competition, modern coins can reach impressive heights. The key is knowing what to look for, the fine details, the condition, and the precision of the strike. So the next time you receive a dime in your change, pause for a second and take a closer look. Check the date. Look at the mint mark. Examine the bands on the torch. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. The difference between an ordinary coin and a rare, high-value example can come down to just a few details, and if you catch them early, you might be holding something truly special. If you find this video interesting, please subscribe for more coin stories and insights. Feel free to like and share it with others who appreciate collecting. Also, drop a comment below to share your thoughts or tell us about any unique coins you've come across. Don't forget, we post daily videos. See you in the next one.